We are often asked, how can I help? Especially people who are on limited income. Yes, we need money, but there are many, many other ways that you can help. And we're going to talk about a few of the ways that have been done in the past. Fundraisers are a wonderful way to help. And Rod and Lisa Waterman, who are now on our board, started the very first fundraiser 12 years ago in Memphis. They will tell you they had no clue what they were doing when they started. We had no clue, but it's turned into a very successful event where about 100 people come together every summer. And over the years, they've helped 25 some odd children be adopted.
Yeah, there's like we often say, not everybody can adopt, but everybody can help someone in their adoption journey. And that can be putting on a fundraiser, that can be encouraging a family who is considering adoption. I mean, encouragement is incredible when someone is taking that leap of faith and dealing with a lot of uncertainty. There are things you can do during the adoption process. Again, prayers, encouragement is good. When the adoption is happening, we have families who, we're commanded as Christians to practice hospitality. And if there's a family that's coming into your community or coming in and while they're adopting, they're worshiping at your congregation, provide them with some hospitality. Let them stay in your home while they're going through their adoption journey. Number one, it saves them money. Number two, you can be a great source of encouragement. And trust me, you will be amazed at the people that you meet. After the adoption, Dana's got some great stories of things that you can do, especially for families who have adopted older children. So why don't you share some of those ways?
Well, respite care is always needed, especially when you're adopting older children. And we want the families that do adopt older children to feel just as special as a family that brings home a newborn. So what happens when you bring home a newborn? There's usually a baby shower, food that's brought in, and why not do that for an older child? This is wonderful for a family that's trying to bond. And it's also wonderful for that older child to see this is what Christians do. You go to church with them and they're helping, they're bringing in food every night, they're helping us, they're taking us places. Respite care is something that is very not a little well done, little well known, but it just means having the older children in your home for a night while the parents can maybe take a breath. It's a challenge to adopt older children, and especially older children from foreign countries. So we need to be encouragers of those by how we react and how we support, and not being naysayers, but being encouragers.
Another thing that we talk as we travel around the country, everywhere that we can, we look for opportunities to talk to preachers and elders, because Sacred Selections is a public charity. That's an IRS definition. But we try to remind people that this is not just another charitable work or a benevolent work. This is spiritual work. And we try to work with preachers and elders who are the leaders in congregations around the country to help them understand that this is a definition of pure religion, and to work as appropriate within their own church families to create the culture of adoption. That if you have families who are thinking about giving a child a home, nurture that desire. Tell the members of your family, if you have a family that's considering adoption and they need help with the funding or they need help with encouragement or prayers, really fan that flame. Mm-hmm. Because this is something that God expects His people to do. A few years ago, we came up with what I call the 1-1-1 plan. And basically, there's some, depending on what statistic you read, there's some 2,500 conservative churches of Christ in the United States. Imagine if one congregation encouraged one family to adopt one child every year. Just running the numbers, that means that 2,500 children every year would have an opportunity to find a good Christian home.
2,500.
So
let that number sink in.
Yeah, there are so many ways that you could help. We have a couple who have adopted 2 children through Sacred Selections, Russ and Kristen Copeland in Tampa, Florida. And they've stepped up, and they will be kind of doing almost like an apprenticeship with us, so that as we're getting older, they can be the new and improved Dane and Dave Carosa.
Much improved.
They can.
I'll be tall and blonde now.
They can be the next generation that puts on the fundraisers and advocates for the work that we're doing now. There are couples across the country who are putting on their own adoption workshops, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing these videos, is to help those as tools to explain what adoption is about and what people can do to support that.
You know, circling back to Rusty and Kristen, they put on the first ever 5K run for Sacred Selections in this last year, and you're probably seeing the video now of it. Was their second year, and it was a tremendous success. And we're so excited when people come to us and they'll say, what about this? Our answer is always yes, as long as it's legal, because we want people to grow Sacred Selections in all different ways. In North Carolina, every year they have a Harley-Davidson run for the babies, and I'm excited about that too. There are just so many ways that you can help support us, and it doesn't always involve money, but just get out there and say our name, and hopefully you'll make a connection, and hopefully, even when it gets scary, just call us and we'll walk you through.
We have people, Daniel Watt, who is a webmaster, and he volunteers his time to help us keep up the website. We have Luke Adams, who's a very skilled graphic artist, and he helps me publish a newsletter every month. We have ladies like Emily Atherton, who is great in organizing things and managing the paperwork, and she helps Dana by helping the families applying for their grants. She walks them through the process, and she's doing this all on a volunteer basis. We have another lady from the Dallas, Texas area, Tina Gray, who volunteers her time and has put together an amazing website that's specific for how to put on a fundraiser. We have other people who help Dana with social media. So if you have a skill that may have an application to help us manage and run the foundation to promote the cause of adoption, then give us a call. There may be a place for you to go to work, and that's exactly what we need, and that's exactly what God expects us to do with the talents that He gives us.
You can do something we can't do, tell us, call us. You have something that you think others would be interested in. Great. Come on. If you've got a beautiful boat you want to take people on trips to and use that to help Sacred Selections, great. Whatever you can do, if you make the best pie, let us know. We'll auction it off. We're open to any suggestions anytime.
The whole idea behind Sacred Selections is to make this as broad and as inclusive as we can. There's a place for nearly everyone in God's family to be a part of helping a child find a home. Find your place, make the phone call, and find out how you can be part of this tremendous family that all works together to help care for the fatherless. So
the people making this video for us today that are behind the cameras right now, Rich and Paula Ladd, thank you so much. They're using their expertise and their knowledge to bring this to you today. So we thank them too. We thank everybody who uses their talents for God. And what we really want to get across is that Sacred Selections isn't the Dana and David show at all. This is all of us working together as Christians.
Thanks so much. We look forward to working with you.
Yeah, give us a call.